Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and all in between, to the life and suffering of Sir Brante. We'll jump straight in, year 1135, chapter 3, the Three Lots. We come to deciding our path. There are only a few days left until the Imperial College entrance exam. History, law, theology. You spend all day reading and rereading the books you brought with you, staying at the Library of Eterna for hours, sometimes until it closes. As the day of the exam approaches, your hands start shaking more and more, and finally the day comes. A clear sky hangs over Eterna today, the breeze is warm. You dress in your best outfit, a grey jacket and velvet culotte trousers. You comb your hair carefully and polish your boots until they shine. You leave the lodging house and head for the Imperial College. Your legs grow heavier with every step. Your anxiety at the fact that your fate will be decided today is virtually tearing you apart. The college is a majestic building that looks not unlike a castle. In the square in front of it you can already see several dozen people, young men, sons of nobles of the mantle like you, waiting for the college's doors to open. Time slows to a crawl. At last, the doors open. A stately man dressed in a professor's mantle appears at the entrance. He is the dean of the college. The students-to-be fall silent as the dean gets ready to deliver his welcoming speech. But the silence is interrupted by heavy footsteps and clanking armor. A squadron of warriors emerge near the college, led by Archnean officers. Their banner bears an image of golden grains. The noble militia of Monia province? What are they doing here? The nobles of Monia form a circle around the college, each warrior moving quietly and precisely until a chain is formed. One of the Archneans is clad in an old-fashioned suit of armor. He is the leader of the militia. He locks the bar on the massive doors of the college into place, then proceeds to the stairs to address the crowd loudly. Aegerius Monroe. Commoners, before you stands Aegerius of Monroe dynasty, Archduke of Monia. By my will, the college is hereby closed, and today's entrance exam is cancelled. Your lowly origins make you unfit for the great honour of rendering service to the Empire, a right that ought to be available only to the hereditary nobles of the sword. The college's reputation has been tarnished. It breeds mock nobles who bear not a trace of noble blood. You belong in the lowly estate, but have forgotten your place. Cornelius Tempest and the other traitors to the Empire are indulging you in defacing the institution of the nobility for their lowly interests. A noble lot, for this of lowly birth, how can this be? I will not stand for this disintegration of the imperial order. Now turn away from the college this instant and return to the humble trades of your ancestors. Plough your fields, mend your boots, and work and suffer by your lot. If any of you dare to set foot upon these stairs, you will be killed at once. The students-to-be meet this speech with a stunned silence. The crowd in the square is growing, however. The news of the Monian noble militia and the college's closing spreads to the streets like wildfire. More humans join the crowd. College students, commoners, officials who worked hard to be ennobled. Unrest grows around you. You hear people calling to rush Archduke Monroe's forces to take control of the college and defend your right to become noble. The Emperor himself gave us this right. We have to fight for it. This is the decisive moment for all of you. The old gentry has challenged you. Will you accept this challenge? In the face of this shameful, illegal act by the Archduke's forces, you may prove that all of you deserve the noble lot. You need to break through the cordon, get inside the college and take control of it. The nobles will never dare hurt you if your presence is strong enough. If you are ready to risk it all and fight for your right to the nobility, you will have to lead the charge. People keep coming to the square in the meantime, including students and teachers from the Divine Seminary. The lot of the clergy is to guide others to the right path. When the estates clash, the priests are bound to intervene. The seminary teachers instruct their students to form a line between the noble militia and the outraged crowd. The priests begin telling the warrior nobles and the riotous commoners to return to the preordained divine order, lest they provoke the wrath of the gods. The wrath of the gods, as the priests utter these words, the crowd around you disappears. A vision appears before your eyes. The Empire is ablaze. You see burning lands steeped with pain and despair everywhere you look, rivers overflowing to extinguish the burning world. You can tell that soil scorched by such fire will never bear fruit again. The gods' given vision demands to be heard, demands to be prophesied to the world, but only a priest may speak to the twins and for the twins. Will you keep it inside, or will you step onto the path the twins have revealed to you? Somebody shoves you in the back and you snap out of the vision. You turn around to see a small but decisive troops of commoners moving quickly through the crowd. They are led by Sophia. As soon as she sees you, she signals to them to stop. So you're here too? Going to rush to college, are you? Can't you see it already? The laws cannot be trusted. They gave you the right to study here just to throw you a bone. When the going gets tough, your masters will take it away. It's time for you to decide. We are the Lawless, and we are not putting up with the system any longer. We will fight for a new world. Are you coming with us? Are you going to submit to them? There are students and professors locked inside the college. Who knows how long Monroe will maintain this siege? And what if they start slaughtering people? Neither group of nobles will care what happens to them. We're going to go inside and pull them out. Come with us if you're ready to take control of your own destiny. The tension in the square is palpable, and the situation is about to implode. Students, commoners, nobles of the mantle, followers of the new faith, all of them are gathering their forces to move on the wall of soldiers. They expect the nobles to let them through en masse. Surely they wouldn't start a massacre. The Lawless, led by Sophia, prepare to break through the siege to rescue the people in the college, and all the while the priests preach peace to both sides of the conflict. The college is your only way into the nobility. Only you can fight for your new lot and fulfill your duty to your family. You can organize an offensive strong enough to get into the college and thus seize your lawful right like a true nobleman. Yet the revelation about the wrath of the gods still pulses in your mind. Once revealed, this vision will take you on a different path, standing with the priests and preaching what you have just seen, warning all of the dire danger on the path of warring estates, bringing the twins' word to the people and guiding them to salvation. Could this be your new lot? Sophia and the Lawless, they expect you to join their struggle. They are waiting for you to cast off the old ways and eternal yoke of subservience. If you choose this path, you will not change your lot, and your suffering will continue. But your suffering might just change this world. This is the moment. Your future life will be decided here and now. So we're going to go for the noble option for this playthrough, but I am actually going to start a clergy playthrough quite soon as well, in tandem with this playthrough, because that's the real one I want to play for, but I'm happy with the skills I have now for the noble playthrough. So we're going to break through the cordon into the college. You lead the future students and attempt to storm the college. You get to work. Recalling the books on military tactics you used to study as a boy, you call out to the students and children of nobles around you and assume command. They hear you and they listen. You stand together in close formation and march toward the weakest link in the line of nobles, more people joining you along the way, a veritable phalanx of young men armed with nothing but determination against a nobleman's swords. The noble militia readies their steel. The Arcanian officer in command of this section halts you and orders you to turn back. You step forward and give him your reply. These people are here to study at the college as the Emperor himself has decreed. You have every right to fulfill the imperial law, and all nobles who dare to intervene will be defying Uther Tempest II himself. Your plan works. The officer hesitates when confronted with your words and your vigor. The noble militia is no longer ready to use their swords. This is your chance. You command your forces to focus their advantage in numbers for a singular push, and the militia line breaks. You reach the college gates. More people start running for the breach. The nobles get their bearings quickly enough to restore the line, but your phalanx is already inside. You waste no time and begin barricading the gate. The students who were stuck inside the college run toward you. You quickly tell them your plan. Block all the doors and windows with whatever comes to hand before Monroe's forces can get in. If they do get in, only the twins know what they will do. One by one, all the entrances are swiftly barricaded. The riot outside the college has calmed for a moment, it seems. Through an open window you hear Monroe giving orders to his militia. The Archduke is forming a strong perimeter outside the college, ready for a proper siege. Students and professors of the college go to the balcony to negotiate. You are among them. Surrender and leave this building. I am not here to kill or execute you. No loyal subjects will die by my hand. The humans boo and jeer at Monroe's proposal. The dean himself appears on the balcony. The imperial family established the college, he claims, and he cannot defy orders given by the great Arachnean Tempest dynasty. And so the college remains besieged. The noble militia stands in a circle around the building, but there are no preparations for an assault. The outrage in the square continues. You remain in control of the college for the entire day and the following night, but at sunrise the Emperor's herald arrives in the square. He brings news. The Emperor is delighted to see Archduke Monroe in the capital, yet he demands that the noble militia of Monia vacate the square and allow classes to begin at the college. The besieged college celebrates the news. This is the work of Cornelius Tempest, Great Chancellor, the Emperor's brother. He managed to convince the Emperor to order Monroe to withdraw. Even the Archduke of Monia, the most powerful noble lord in all the Empire, cannot disobey a direct order from the Emperor. Still, the college would never have held out for an entire day without your phalanx's determination and your daring plan. You, the people of the common estate, have secured your right to study and earn the noble lot. The college is open again, and the entrance exam will take place in a few days. You aren't nervous at all this time. All the lessons at home, the books, the schooling, your own noble actions, all that work and effort has finally reached its culmination. The procedure for appointing a provincial overseer, the 5 great Arachnean dynasties, the property rights of all estates, you answer all these questions with ease. Hours pass, and the dean of the college reads the names of the new students to the young men gathered at his college steps. Your name is among the first. He praises what you did in defense of the college. People like you are the Empire's future, Sir Brante, he says. Sunlight fills the college square. It feels so soft and soothing here in Eterna, not as harsh as it gets in Anisot. You watch the pillars shine in the sky as you walk down the steps of the college. You are a Brante, the 3rd judge in the family, the man who will soon join the family's noble blood tide. You have seized your right to achieve the nobleman's lot. You should write to your father now. He will be so proud. Path of the Nobleman. Like your father and grandfather, you enroll in the Imperial College, hoping to become a judge and a nobleman of the mantle. That worked out quite well, actually. I thought we might potentially die. Bonds of Friendship. You return to the lodging house one last time to gather your belongings for the move to your new home. A young man dressed in the uniform of the military academy greets you by the door. It takes you a moment to recognize Tomas. Your friend locks you in an embrace. Brante, hey! How are you? I heard about the nasty stuff that went down in the college square. Those damn gentry would do anything to keep low-born folks under their thumb. Glad the situation resolved itself. As for me, I'm an academy cadet now. He is beaming with pride. You invite him in and chat while you pack. Tomas continues to relay the news as you walk up the stairs. I made it into the top 10, can you imagine? Did pretty well in sparring and the sciences. It was all thanks to the help you gave me back in school in Anisot. I'll be studying the art of war now, and then it's a quick march to a noble title. How about you? You tell Tomas about what happened over the past few days and of the path you have chosen. He remains quiet as you speak. Both of you realize that you may never see each other again. You know, Brante, here's what I think. You may have your own part in life, but you're my friend. We've got to make sure our friendship lasts forever, no matter what happens to us. Yeah, I brought 2 brass rings. If the old tradition is to be believed, both the rings and their wearers will always remain close to each other, no matter where fate takes them. What do you say? The 2 of you grow up side by side. Tomas, the audacious, hot-blooded, sharp-tongued boy who used to live next door. You can't imagine your childhood without him. But would it be right to promise him that your friendship will last forever, no matter what happens? The 2 rings made of plain brass lie in his open palm. If you wear these rings, you'll be bound by ties of friendship for the rest of your life. Can I end the friendship? Keep things as they are, or take the ring. I will swear an oath of friendship. You take the ring that will bind your fate to Tomas's and swear an oath of eternal friendship. He's our only really close friend. I've no doubt he's going to be on the wrong side of the Civil War or something, but we'll see what happens. You take one of the rings from his outstretched palm. The 2 of you have walked side by side ever since you were children. Even now you are walking in the same direction towards a noble title. You as a judge and Tomas as a warrior. Nothing will ever tarnish your bond. You swear an oath of eternal friendship to Tomas. Tomas solemnly swears the same. You put the brass ring on your pinky. A perfect fit. Tomas follows suit. He starts beaming again. Now we're friends forever, for all eternity. We gotta celebrate this. Come, I know a place I gotta show you. Tastiest meat I've ever tried, Brante. You might try. Bound by friendship. Your friendship is strong enough to stand the test of time. The 2 of you go to a noble salon by the square of Emperor Severin. Surrounded by tobacco smoke and mead bottles, you wag your tongues, recall the days of your adolescence and make plans for the future. Nobody knows what could be waiting for you, but you promise you will never lose sight of each other. You and Tomas form an unbreakable bond of friendship. It's a big event. We're in the Imperial College and led the way of the charge. And now we've got a friend for eternity. Year 1135, fall, a letter from home. As soon as you are accepted into the Imperial College, you send a letter back home. The family replies quickly. The letter arrives in under a week. Most of it is covered with your father's handwriting. I am proud of you, my son, and I believe your grandfather takes pride in you too. You have brought our family one step closer to being ennobled by the sword. You will make an excellent judge. I have complete faith in your intellect and your will. You shall bring glory to our family. Stefan's congratulations follow your father's. Congratulations, brother. The simple folk could only dream of what you've already achieved. You can thank father and grandfather for this opportunity, but it was you who proved yourself worthy. Once you receive your new lot, you and I will be equals at last. I'm glad he said at last. Makes it sound like he wanted us to be his equal. Then some words of praise from Mother and Nathan. You have brought your father much joy and made him proud, and I am witness to this. You now walk this path, all thanks to him. Yet it saddens me that you did not consider the Divine Seminary, where you could have dedicated your life to our gods as well as the Empire itself. You worked so hard for this. We held a big feast in your honour back home. I hope you achieved all you've ever wanted. And at the very end, there's a small note from your sister. Congratulations. Good luck. My father loves me. Stefan loves me. Gloria doesn't. It is only a few days since you became a student at the college. Your education has barely begun when an amazing piece of news surprises all the students. Each year, Cornelius Tempest, the great chancellor and the emperor's younger brother, grants an honour to all future nobles of the mantle and invites them to a masquerade at his summer palace. The professors and lecturers instruct you to look and act your best in order to preserve the college's honour. They tell you more about the ball too. All who attend it from the college must prove themselves with words or deeds to the members of the great Archean dynasties that will be present there. This means the reputation of your family, your home province, will be at stake too. It's time to get ready. You order a proper suit for the occasion and a mask to go with it. It looks simple but by no means plain and only hides your eyes. The day comes. You spend an entire morning preparing for the ball. Your fellow students give you hints about how to attach the cuffs, keep the collar straight, and make sure your hair remains coiffed for the entire night. Soon, the carriages start flocking to Cornelius Tempest's summer palace. The tall, ornate outer fence surrounds the sprawling garden in full bloom. The marble-paved driveway is so wide it can accommodate 2 rows of carriages. You and your fellow students walk up the massive stairs to the front door of the palace. You seem tiny and incongruous against the background of this scenic grandeur. The Master of Ceremonies instructs all newcomers to seek their province's coat of arms. You see the banner of Magra from far away, depicting the silver tree digging its roots into the murky grey soil. Below it is a banner bearing the coat of arms of the Milanindas dynasty. It turns out the students from the college were not the only ones invited to this party. You see Academy cadets lined up beneath the banners too, and Tomas is among them. A wide grin appears on his face when he sees you go under the banner of Magra. I just knew you'd be here today, pal. What can I say? Congratulations, student. As for me, I'm not so bad off myself, see? The military academy is father and mother to me now. His merry speech is interrupted by a tall, proud Arcanian in a heavy cloak. You recognize him. He is Dorius Otten, Sophia's former master. Make way for your commoner, soldiery. The last time you saw Otten, he was searching the back streets of Anizot by your house for a girl servant, but now the young Arcanian's uniform betrays his high standing. He is young, yet he is already the province's commander. Who put him in charge of all the military forces of Margla at such an age? What's wrong? You know him or something? A brief description of Otto was enough to wipe the smile off his face. You see no other high-ranking officials bearing the colours of Magra at this party. It seems Dorius Otten will be the main representative of your province tonight. You watch the other colleges, students and academy cadets line up under the provincial banners. The blue and silver banner of Archnia, the Emperor's own province, is in the very centre of the hall. Judging by the hilts jutting out from beneath their belts, many of those who surround that banner are nobles of the sword. Tomas is clearly jealous. The group from Archnia stands proudly, ennobled by its iconic and dignified history. The Archnian race in the Empire originated in their very lands. A sizable group of students stand under the banner of Monia, a wealthy agricultural province signified by yellow grains on a field of ore. The wealth of the young men beneath this banner is plain to see. Their attire is on par with the Arcanians in terms of luxury, and perhaps even more vibrant in terms of colour. The most numerous group at the party stands under the banner of Illyria, a yellow griffin against a field of azure. All the Illyrians are clothed in well-tailored suits with a minimum of decoration. Some of them wear gloves. Most of them come from wealthy industrial families, and it seems many of them would feel more at ease in their family factories than at a noble party like this one. 3 banners represent the northern provinces of Fiona, Hermia, and Constanta. These banners, like the groups associated with them, stand together. The Royal Tempest dynasty oversees all 3 of them. The students and cadets are clearly well off, yet they are dressed in modest, functional garments to honour the austere traditions of the north. And finally, the smallest of the groups is represented by an open book against the field of Argent, Estynia, homeland of the Diamant dynasty. By the order of Patriarch Unius Diamant, the open book of the new faith has been added to the banner only recently. Nearly all the young men beneath this banner are clothed in academy uniforms. They wear no adornments, but are clad impeccably, with an area button undone, the embodiment of rigour and restraint. The Master of Ceremonies signals the beginning of the party. It is time for dancing. The first dance is a minuet. A tradition calls for everyone to dance. Harpsichord music fills the hall. The academy cadets waste no time finding dance partners and soon already making the fluid first steps of the minuet. You take a look around. One of the young ladies representing Margaret catches your eye. She is slender like all Arcanians and clothed in a yellow dress, embroidered with emerald green, her face hidden behind a full mask decorated with bright green feathers. What happens next seems unbelievable. The enigmatic lady walks toward you. The way she looks at you, the way she walks. The black eyes from behind the mask watch you closely. She tilts her head. There are no words, but you feel there is a question. Everyone in the hall is startled by a sudden noise. You look behind you and see Tomas getting up off the floor, his face a grimace of rage. Dorius Otten stands before him, eyeing him with disgust. His arm rests on the hilt of his sword. Who allowed this clumsy commoner inside the Great Chancellor's palace? Its noble masters are trying to dance, and it's getting underfoot. Tomas looks like he's about to explode in Otto's face, but the smug Arcanian sword is a clear threat. If your friend's rage gets the better of him, he will end up in trouble. The enigmatic Arcanian beauty, however, quickly loses all interest in their quarrel. She comes even closer to you, expecting you to invite her to dance. I really want to dance with her. I have a feeling it could be Octavia, the lady who we have our handkerchief. I don't want to do that. Do I want to apologise for Tomas's gaffe? I can't leave him on his own. I'm going to resolve the quarrel. We made a friendship pact. Bros before hoes and all that. You stand between Tomas and Otten before they can clash. The Arcanian eyes you with scorn. You shower him with a flurry of apologies for your friend. Tomas has never been to this kind of party before, and still has a lot to learn when it comes to etiquette, and besides, he's clearly flummoxed from witnessing an Arcanian up close. Otten smirks, just barely enough to notice. Well said. Sometimes I forget you humans are bloody smarter than beasts. Take pride in the fact that you were permitted to attend this party. You'll have stories to tell and all that. Very well, away with you, and try not to get in my way. Why, I recognise your face now that I think of it. Ah, you hail from Anisot. I must have seen you on the street somewhere. There are just too many of your kind about, but you're rather sharp, and you've been taught how to behave. That's a welcome sight. I wonder if we had stood up to him what he would have said. You back away from the Arcanian in a most gallant way, clutching your friend by the arm. There's a mixture of rage and bewilderment on Tomas's face. Once you are far enough, he swears under his breath and heads for the refreshments. You follow him and watch him down 2 glasses of sparkling wine like a parched man guzzling water. You sure got some skill when it comes to sucking up to the Arcanians, friend. You saved my hide today, no doubt about it. Still feels like a bucket of slop right into the face, though. Well, that's good, we fixed our relationship with him. A bit. It could have been far worse, you tell him. Better a moment of shame than a fight with a mighty Arcanian in the middle of a party. Assaulting an Arcanian is the easiest way to meet true death. Tomas says nothing to this and downs a 3rd glass of wine. Out of the corner of your eye, you catch the mysterious masked Arcanian lady, all beauty and grace, dancing with Otten. You could have been in his place, had you chosen so. Oh good, we're now canny. I thought diplomacy would go up, but I guess not. Year 1136. I'll read this and then we'll go. Year 1136, winter, the trial of the 50. You have lived another year in the capital. Eterna has been shaken by what is now known as the trial of the 50. 50 people stand trial at once, all prominent members of several political circles. They are accused of treason and conspiracy against the crown. The accused spoke in favour of reducing the power of the nobles and granting more rights to the common estate. There was no mention of rebellion, yet those words alone were enough to indict them. Every session of the trial is open to the public. It is a show of power made to discourage people from forming such circles ever again. You attend one of these sessions. The 50 face their verdict: forced labour in the mines of Magla and Illyria for regular members, and true death for their leaders, 6 men and 1 woman. Their public execution takes place in the central square of Eterna. You remember the woman. Her name is Annie Siren. She made a speech before her execution. A young woman, not too tall, her face almost plain, with long bangs over her eyes. She looks calm, even at this moment. You cannot believe she is about to leave this world forever. Annie Siren takes a look around before she speaks. Her voice is quiet, but you are close enough to hear every single word. She says she is happy to give her lives, fighting for the rights of the people. Her cause will never die, Annie claims. Others like her will continue their work in hiding, for their cause is right and just. She is dragged away to the others. They put a sack over her head and tighten a noose around her neck. A hand yanked on the lever, and the 7 dangle in the air. Their feet tremble at first, then grow still. There are gasps and cries of discontent in the crowd. We're going closer to the overseer in power again. And we're close to discontent, and closer to peace. So, we're going to leave it there for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know how you think the events turned out and if I made decisions that you would have made or would have you done something different. So I hope you enjoyed the video and take care. Have a nice day.